Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, a man called Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England were dominating the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian Casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
Good morning, you're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Spurs and Manchester United shared the spoils at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday.
Crossing towards the back post, it's De Ligt and he has stolen a point. He's got up highest and he's headed the ball beyond Vicario, and Manchester United have managed to come back and garner a point.
West Ham also picked up a crucial win over Burnley.
It is indeed. It's West Ham 3, Burnley 2. So back-to-back home victories for the Hammers. They had to do it the hard way, coming from behind after Zian Fleming headed Burnley into the lead.
And Sunderland kept their unbeaten record at the Stadium of Light alive, all thanks to a last-ditch equaliser against the league leaders.
Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Equaliser coming from one of the new Sunderland signings over the summertime, Brian Brobby.
Robbie, what a name, what a performance. 2-2, that one finished last night. Meanwhile today, Manchester City take on Liverpool. Can either of these sides really challenge Arsenal for the title? Arsenal fans, after that last night, do you feel like you've let your rivals back in? And Liverpool and City fans, which of you is going to hunt them down? 03717 223344 81089 if you want to get in touch with the show this morning. We'll look back on all of yesterday's action and build up to what's ahead today. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Good morning, Cascarino.
Good morning.
I had a stinker this morning.
Go on. Why?
I came downstairs and I literally all I could smell was poo.
Oh.
And a cat gone. in the living room.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So here was me this morning, 4:15, trying to clean up cat poo.
Oh dear.
I know.
Not nice.
That's not normal for a cat, though, is it? It means he's not well.
I've never had a cat. I've had dogs. I've never had a cat.
I think that would say to me, you're not feeling well if you've done that, because usually they're very private. You would never do that.
Yeah, it's I've never really had animals until probably the last 15 years. I was never an animals. Well, I was never brought up with having a dog or I had a little budgerigar.
You got a dog now?
Yes, yeah. One dog. Yeah, but that's more my missus and look, I get great fun out of the dogs. You know, but when you lose them, it's quite hard. You know, when you lose animals, it's
the worst.
You know, I never grew up with that, so it was a sort of different idea. I never took it. You know, you get so attached to an animal, don't you?
No. That's the first thing I thought about this morning when he did that. I thought, because he's 10 now. That's quite senior for a cat. I thought, buddy, get out. Go on, out you go. Anyway, that's all we've got time for in today's show. Thank you so much for this. Disgraceful way to open your show. What about last night?
Yes, yeah. Well, I had a very long day yesterday because I was at Spurs for the early game against Manchester United, and then obviously then you had the game. I got back to watch Arsenal take on Sunderland, and then the later one with Chelsea. So it was a hell of a long day.
It was indeed, and it took a little bit of a turn in terms of the title race because Arsenal dropped points for the first time since September. Here's how it all sounded for you here on talkSPORT yesterday.
The crossing towards the back post. It's De Ligt, and he has stolen a point. He's got up highest, and he's headed the ball beyond Vicario, and it's 2-2.
And it should be game over here. Everton 2, Fulham 0. It's a corner that comes in from the Everton right-hand side. It is met at the near post by Michael Keane.
And it should be all over now because it's West Ham United 3, Burnley 1. Nuno Espirito Santo punches the air in celebration. West Ham 3, Burnley 2 now.
It's Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Equaliser coming from one of the new Sunderland signings over the summertime, Brian Brobby.
Chelsea turning it over and getting it forward towards Garnacho, who's going to beat Sandy Bueno for pace. He's got a square ball for Neto, who rubs salt into the Wolves' wounds. Neto scoring against his old club. 3-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah, Spurs and Manchester United managed a 2-2 draw yesterday, as did Sunderland Arsenal last night. Here on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock, we had the Chelsea-Wolves game, which ended up Chelsea 3, Wolves 0. Everton also got a win over Fulham. West Ham beat Burnley 3-2. And coming up for you today, you've got Villa Bournemouth, Brentford Newcastle, Crystal Palace Brighton, Forest Leeds at 2 o'clock, and then the 4:30 game this afternoon, Manchester City take on Liverpool. Cass, shall we start with the 2-2s?
Yes.
Because you were at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday.
Yeah, I was, yeah. And poor first half, especially by Spurs. I thought Spurs never got anything going. It's quite interesting because Jamie Carragher on Monday night did a great analysis of the Chelsea game that Spurs had played and how Spurs were not really getting the ball into dangerous areas. And yesterday there was a good example. I mean, Mouani, I felt sorry for him, Carlo Mouani for Spurs, because was so not at the races, and the amount of times the ball get fed into him and he just played the ball straight back. He never looked to turn and try and find a winger, twist and try and give centre-halves problems, running the channels. I mean, he's played for, obviously at PSG, he's been at Juventus, Eintracht Frankfurt, and he's come to Tottenham.
Yeah.
And he looks so out of his depth that it's a problem. It's a problem for Spurs that, having a guy come in that, Richarlison, I know he's got his goals. He's got his goal yesterday. I thought he was poor, Richarlison. And he just falling to the ground so often. Tottenham were seriously not good in the first half. Manchester United, I felt, had the game. And Brian Mbeumo he was terrific. He's such a good signing for Manchester United. He's left Brentford and playing exactly the same level for Manchester United. Now, Matheus Cunha isn't. Matheus Cunha, there's been an exaggeration of how well he's done at Manchester United. He hasn't done that well. He's done okay, and yes, he has, and if he can get back to what he was like at Wolves. But if you look at his goals for, 1 in the games he's played.
But he looks good. He looks like he's doing all the right things. Like it might come to be a very good signing.
I'm still not sure if he'll ever reach the level of Wolves.
Oh.
Because He carries the ball from the halfway line to the 18-yard box and does it well and brings the team up the pitch. But I think there's, he was a lot more than that for Wolves. And he had a goal in one in 2 games for Wolves. And also Manchester United have suffered because they've had to sort of change the dynamics of Fernandes. So it's come at a little bit of a price for Manchester United. But they were the better team first half. Second half, there was changes. And I've got to say, it was probably the fair result by the end.
Yeah, and you know what? The last 10 minutes of the game were very, very entertaining. It was all going off. And to be fair, the first kind of 80 minutes, it felt like that cup final back in May. It was just a bit of a...
Well, the atmosphere was dead at Tottenham.
Yeah, it was so dead.
Half-time, and literally, people weren't getting back into their seats at Spurs or Tottenham Stadium. 52 minutes, and you're seeing all these empty seats fill out. There was really no... And it got going, because the atmosphere can be great there. I've been there a good few times now, and I come away thinking if you can get it going, it really can, be loud and great atmosphere to play in. But yesterday, the game changed with substitutions. Obviously, once Manchester United went to 10 men because of the injury to Sesko, who, again, a bit like Muani, he looks like he's so out of sorts. He really does. And I think he's got a bad injury. I think we're going to find out he's going to be out for a while, because I watched him after, the pass from Fernandes. He didn't get it out of his feet, and he looks like he gets his legs stuck.
I think it looks like it could be a major knee.
Yeah. From injury. The first moment I saw it, I said, he's done a bad injury there.
Oh dear.
So hopefully I'm wrong and he's okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reports this morning, even in the back pages, Sam's going to be here for a look at them a little bit later on, are suggesting that it looks like he could have caused a bit of an issue here for his knee. As for Manchester United, that means 5 games unbeaten for Ruben Amorim. And I actually was fairly, obviously happy for De Ligt getting the equaliser yesterday to take a point in that game. It just feels like steady progress, because Spurs with a win yesterday could have gone up to second for a brief period.
Yeah,
I think that's good, great progress for.
Yeah,
character, by the way.
There's still a lot of stuff to be done at Manchester United,
of course,
and that's with players like Ungati, who came on, who got bypassed so easily by Odegaard in midfield for their goal. They do lack the legs in some positions. I thought Ahmed done really well. I thought Brian Mbeumo was really good. De Ligt obviously led by example and gets the equaliser. There was things that were good, and you're right, being on that role of not being beaten, but there's still issues and some major ones that they have to deal with as a club.
Absolutely. Arsenal had a little slip yesterday.
Is it a slip?
Honestly, I don't think it is a slip.
No, I don't.
This is what we do. We sensationalise the idea that Arsenal drop points, like that's it. It's all over for them.
Well, let's strip it apart, okay? Let's go right from Sunderland's season so far. They've had 2 defeats in the Premier League.
They've been brilliant.
Gone to Chelsea, got a result.
Yep.
And deservedly so, got something out of the Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge. You're playing the team that were in second. You've got a point, and Sunderland on the day were superb.
They were so good. They deserved that.
They score 2 goals against Arsenal, and Dan Ballard, as a defender, was excellent, but the whole team, Sunderland's energy is extraordinary.
How did they cause such chaos?
Because they got unbelievable muscular energy in their team, and that's come down to recruitment. They fight for everything in every position. They don't let you breathe, Sunderland. And I think it surprised Arsenal. And don't get me wrong, I didn't think Arsenal did too much wrong, because a couple of great goals. Saka's goal was a great effort. And then obviously Trossard's, which was a top quality goal. And Arsenal were in a bit of trouble. They got themselves out of it. But Sunderland kept going. And Brian Brobby's equaliser, what an effort that is as well.
Yeah.
So I thought, again, it was a fair result, and full credit to Sunderland, because that's not 2 points lost. That's a point gain for me, because you're playing a team that is at the top end of the table. They are not Sunderland, who were promoted.
Okay.
Right? Yes, they were promoted, but they're not that team. They're a far better team than that.
Yeah, very, very impressive from them yesterday. Coming up for you today, by the way, 4:30, our game day show with Sam Matterface today. We'll have all the updates from the 4:30 game, Liverpool versus City, looking to close the gap on Arsenal. Loads more coming up in the weekend's football. Coming up for you next, we'll discuss a huge win for West Ham as well. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
fancy restaurants, everything in this world that'll make you want. Got a bank account bigger than the law should allow. Still alone.
You've got a bank account bigger than the...
Pretty faces from the
Bigger?
covers
What?
of the
A bank? Go on.
covers to my covers wanna lay with me.
He's just looked up like, who the hell is this?
No, I'm not. I'm looking at some other stuff. This is football. Look, I'm not listening to singing. Looking at football stuff, Shebahn. Who is this? Are you
Go on, harvest a guess. Who is this?
I always sort of get the...
Got a good voice, to be fair.
It's not one of the Neo or anything like that.
It's not Neo, no.
No. Is it similar?
It's Cisco.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have got that.
Cisco's 47 today. Happy birthday, big guy. He had the song, the really famous song, the Thong Song.
Oh, right.
He was, which is
No, I wouldn't have got him.
Gabby Agbonlahore's favourite song, isn't it? It's the Thong Song.
Oh, right. The Fong song.
The Thong Song, yeah. Let me...
You do have an awkward one for me to answer, didn't
Well, it's just a song. I didn't title it. What is a thong? It's a sandal, isn't it?
What's a Fong? I don't know. I've never worn one.
Happy birthday to the big man, Cisco. He's 47 today. What were you doing at age 47?
Oh, don't know. Well, I was back in England and I've been working doing from talkSPORT for the Times and just all other bits. My life was, I think I'd just broken up at 47 again.
Which one?
Yeah.
Is that number two?
I was about that time. Number 2, yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was
You shouldn't
about
laugh at
47.
that.
Well, no, it certainly wasn't funny when it happened. That's
Definitely
for
not.
sure. A breakup is, don't get me going and get me started on that. Yeah.
It's 6:21.
6:21 in the morning, upsetting
Sereno's
people.
breakups here.
Yeah.
It all worked out well for you in the end. Let's go to West Ham last night.
We're not at the end yet.
Oh, we're not at the end yet.
Go on then, West Ham. Let's go West Ham.
Beating Burnley 3-2 last night. That's a big win for them. They needed that. Coming back from a goal down to defeat Burnley 3-2, Dean Fleming gave Scott Parker's side the lead before Callum Wilson equalised just before half-time, and then Souček and Kyle Walker-Peters sealed the points in the second half. Josh Cullen had a consolation late on as well, and after the game, West Ham boss Nuno Espirito Santo spoke about where he is seeing improvements in the squad.
We are recognizing the improvement on the team, and especially the individual improvement some of our players. That was what's gonna make us grow as a team. So we are focused on that individual improvement. Of course, I think that I don't like to concede goals. There were moments of the game that they put us against the rope. They were a very good team. So football, we have to recognize the merits of your opponent.
Do you know what? That's back-to-back wins now for Nuno.
Yeah.
He's starting to get a tune out of this team, which seemed near impossible. He's a great manager, Cass. Can't deny that.
Yeah, and look, the Tottenham experience, you'd go, no, he was really tough for him. But he's done brilliantly at Wolves and Nottingham Forest. He's gone to West Ham and he's identifying quite quickly. And look, there's a strange dynamic that happens in football. That Callum Wilson came in the summer with a free transfer and had lots of injuries. But if you look at Callum Wilson's goal record, whether it's at Bournemouth, Newcastle, he's always got goals. Mm-hmm. Now, if they can get a tune and keep him fit, Callum Wilson will get goals for you. It wasn't that long ago. I went to the World Cup at Qatar and he was there, as a striker, because he can get goals for you. He's physical, he's strength to hold the ball up, and he's got an eye. And his goal yesterday was typical of a striker that finds a bit of space in a tight area and ends up getting on the end of it. He does that really well, Callum Wilson. And so fair play, for utilising him. It was a big result for West Ham because that puts them level on with Burnley with 10 points. Now, they'd have lost that game yesterday because Burnley had a lot of chances. Burnley were good in the game, took it to West Ham, and got the lead, but carried on creating problems for West Ham. And look, they won it late on, but that's a big result for West Ham.
It really is. In terms of ambitions, what will it be for Nuno now that he's got back-to-back wins? Does that change
Well,
the
his
trajectory?
ambition will be game by game and looking just to get a bit more of an edge out of this team. Mm-hmm. I mean, Souček's got goals for West Ham all along his career. Yeah. Can you get more out of Paqueta? Can you get more out of him? Can you get Bowen to be the player that everyone knows is a real talent and can cause all sorts of problems, and I think that is his challenge, that there's good enough. I said at the start of the season, West Ham I'd be afraid for. Under Graham Potter's West Ham, I thought they were a poor side.
Yeah.
I really did. Can Nuno change that dynamics? At the moment, I'd say yes, he can. I think he's shown enough already.
I don't know if you've seen this yesterday, the West Ham fans who staged a funeral march to the London Stadium yesterday, protesting fans carried a coffin to, in the end, the victory over Burnley. It didn't start well for them, but this certainly eases things and makes everyone feel that little bit.
Well, look, their feelings about the owners is not going to change, whether they win games or not. That is just not going to change. The West Ham fans really don't have time for their owners, and it's been a long road for them, and they feel that their club has stood still or even maybe gone backwards, and that's the problem for the owners.
And a win yesterday, 8-10-89 West Ham fans. How you feeling about that? Coming up for you here on talkSPORT today, just after us at 9 o'clock this morning. It's the Sunday edition with Sean Custis and Henry Winter, and then the warm-up takeover. Max and Barry are here at 11 o'clock and 1:30. It's Game Day Live with talkSPORT's Sam Matterface.
Join me, Sam Matterface, for a busy Game Day Live, 1:30 this afternoon. Not only have we got 5 Premier League games, including the blockbuster game between Manchester City and Liverpool to keep you across, but we've got action from the Scottish Premiership and the WSL as well. We're on air from 1:30 right the way through to 6:30, only on talkSPORT.
We will see you then, sir. 6:30, the final word takes over, getting all of your calls in for the final whistle, of course, between Man City and Liverpool. And then rounding off your Sunday, Danny Kelly is here with the Trans-Euro Express, 9 o'clock, discussing all the big issues from the continent. The best way to keep across all the football, download the talkSPORT app and take us anywhere with you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast. Coming up next, we'll get into Chelsea's victory over Wolves as the appointment of Rob Edwards moves ever closer. Good morning. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're live on your smart TV. We're on your YouTube channel as well. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your other headlines, by the way, this morning. Everton defeated Fulham 2-0 at Hill Dickinson yesterday, thanks to goals from Idrissa Gueye and Michael Keane. Alessia Russo scored a late equaliser to earn Arsenal a point. As Women's Super League champions, Chelsea extended their unbeaten run in the competition to a record equaling 33 games. And Malo Gusto's first career goal put Chelsea on their way to a comfortable victory over bottom of the table Wolves in the late game last night. It ended 3-0 at Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea turning it over and getting it forward towards Garnacho, who's going to beat Sandy Bueno for pace. He's got a square ball for Neto, who rubs salt into the Wolves' wound.
Yep, this will be probably Wolves' last game without a manager, as Middlesbrough have granted boss Rob Edwards permission to go and chat to them. But I say they're disappointed after Edwards expressed his interest in the Wolves jobs, despite only joining the club in June. They also added they've agreed a compensation deal with the Black Country club, subject to completion of the relevant paperwork. James Collins, of course, was in the dugout in interim charge last night for Wolves at Stamford Bridge. Still insists he has no idea who will be in charge.
I'm probably as in the least in the know as anybody. I've been allowed to concentrate on this game this week without any distractions. I've done that, so I'm sure I'll find out along with everybody else what the plan is moving forward.
It's funny because we had Lee Naylor, didn't we, on the show yesterday?
Yeah.
And Lee's a good friend of Rob Edwards. Like, no, I'm not sure what's going on, but he's definitely really, really good appointment for Wolves. It looks like this is absolutely happening for him. He used to play for the club.
Yeah.
What is he walking into though, Rob Edwards? Because after that performance last night,
Well, they were second best. I mean, I don't know how they got to half time at 0-0.
Yeah.
Chelsea literally dominated. Caused Wolves a lot of problems, but yeah, they got a lot of people behind the players behind the ball. Wolves, and you expect that, trying to keep Chelsea at bay. Chelsea's two wingers were the difference: Garnacho and Neto, and obviously Esteval came on as well as a sub, which is that's a luxury in itself because he's another terrific footballer. But the two, I thought it was Garnacho's best performance in the blue shirt.
Really,
personally.
He's really getting something there now, isn't he? Even in the game in the week,
yeah,
he looks really promising.
Look, there's no denying he's a huge talent. Look, he had for whatever reason, things fell apart for him at Manchester United, and that was probably his relationship with the manager. Look, he's playing, his best football now. It's got loads of pace. Him and Neto either side. You play Pedro, they played Delap yesterday down the middle, Liam Delap. But Chelsea are a dangerous side. I keep saying to people, they're not that far away. They're not going to challenge to win the title, but they're not that far away from having a really good side because they've got lots of width that just, how many wingers do you really have that get to the byline? Well, Neto would do it regularly and so would Garnacho. Mm-hmm. And with that, if you create, you'll get goals. In the end, it was 3-0 and it was a very comfortable 3-0.
Yeah. How good is Esteval, by the way?
He's got it all. I mean, he's a kid that, unfortunately for him, that Neto is a terrific player as well and Garnacho's player well. He's getting bit parts, but maybe at 18, it's not a bad thing to be playing bit parts and coming on cameos of what he can do. There's an absolute talent there. He's so skillful.
Unbelievable. Just going back to Wolves, it feels like there's a real lack of confidence in this side. Do you think that's something Rob Edwards can change when he arrives at the club, if he arrives at the club?
It's going to be very difficult because what he's got to have assurances of is that if they go down, that he then has the power to bring in new players or change sort of the direction of the team, that they are a team that will come straight back up or compete for the, in a championship to get promoted, because it's a dire position what they're in now. They've gone for 11 games, which is, not that far off of a third of the season, and they're miles off it.
Yeah.
So he's got if he can just get something going with Wolves, but look, if they go down, they can't sack him. It'd be just madness to sack him. They've got to give him the chance to say, look, if we do go down, you're staying, and we'll give you the ammunition to rebuild the football club and try and get promoted again.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Rob Edwards taking this job as well, if it is to happen. A lot of people saying, why would you walk away from Borough when things are going so well? You're pushing for promotion with this club. It's still very early days as well in the Championship, but it looks so promising. But are you mad to give up the chance to go back into the Premier League if it's there for you?
Yeah, we never know the relationship between Rob Edwards and Steve Gibson and what's going on behind the scenes there. You never know that with owners and how they feel. Because Middlesbrough have been guilty in recent years, and Middlesbrough fans will know this because I've said it before. They've sold big players when they've been in great positions.
Yeah.
And, that's, you'd think you'd press on, wouldn't you? Middlesbrough have been close a few times over the last 5 or 6 years. Middlesbrough have been close a few times, and players have gone out the door. And he might feel that Wolves is a better long-term prospect for him, because on the face of it, it does make sense to say, no, you stay at Borough, you've got a great chance to get promoted, and what an achievement. But you don't know the relationships between managers and owners. You just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly that. Listen, if we hear anything about it, you'll be the first to know here on talkSPORT, but it looks like Rob Edwards will be in the dugout for Wolves in their next game, and my God, he has a job ahead of him. Let's get into more of the action yesterday. Massive day in the WSL. Plenty of controversy at the Emirates. Arsenal and Chelsea drew 1-1. But that doesn't tell the story, because there was a couple of goals disallowed. Therefore, as yesterday at the Emirates was our women's football expert and reporter Angelina Kelly. She's with us now. Morning, Ange.
Angelina.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us, Angelina. I don't know whether we just go straight to the referee yesterday.
Yeah.
Angelina, that was maybe the worst performance. You know when people go, oh God, Cass, and you'll complain about a game of football and the ref having a shocker. This was wild yesterday, wasn't it, Ange?
Yeah, and I think that you could tell Renee Slager's the Arsenal manager. She was seething, as much as she, downplayed it post-match when we spoke to her, and she said, you have to think that referees have a really tough job, etc., etc. But you could tell that they felt like they'd been absolutely robbed. So obviously Chelsea opened the scoring in the 9th minute there. Club record signing Alyssa Thompson. She had a great goal, chipped it beautifully into the back of the net. And Arsenal came out in the second half, and they really did manage to, keep Chelsea quiet. They did a really good job, I thought. But, they score an equaliser. And you've got to think, over 56,000 people at the Emirates Stadium. Stina Blackstenius scores from a corner, and the crowd are going wild. And even myself, I'm thinking, oh my God, what a great goal. You look up, the goal has been disallowed. And this is apparently for a handball. I have watched this back, Shebahn. I don't know how many times you've watched it.
It's not.
It doesn't touch her. It touches her abdomen. That's it. which is not her hand. So that gets ruled out. Then you've got Alessia Russo, who scores in the 87th minute. Finally, they've got that equaliser. Frida Maanum then scores the winning goal. Now, for me, I felt like Alessia Russo looked offside to me, but the goal stood. And then Frida Maanum's goal, that goal was disallowed, but she didn't look offside to me.
Yeah.
So it was completely and utterly confusing. Also, the decisions took a very long time. And the reason why the Stina Blackstenius goal stood out for me, and I think Renee Slager's actually said this, the Chelsea players didn't react. Now, if that's a handball, you've got players throwing their arms up in the air, going to the ref. Chelsea defenders did not even blink because it was not a handball. And it was so frustrating. And at the end of the day, this now opens up the debate with VAR, if this should be in the women's game. Obviously, not every women's team plays in stadiums like the Emirates, so you have to consider if those stadiums would be capable of having VAR. So there's a lot of debate around it, but it was a really frustrating situation. You've got to think Chelsea are unbeaten. This was Arsenal's moment to get a win over Chelsea, which people haven't been able to do in the WSL for 556 days now.
Wow.
And this would have given them that extra boost that maybe they could win this WSL title. But yeah, very, very frustrating game. A good game of football for the neutrals, but yeah, it was very, very frustrating for Arsenal. I felt for them.
Angelina, shock defeat for Manchester United yesterday.
Yes, of course. Now, it's a tough one because, you know, they also had been unbeaten, and I am really disappointed in that one. But, you know, they're also in the Champions League. We have to see what happens. They're facing PSG. Of course, they'll be facing Mary Earps, their old goalkeeper. So that will be an interesting one. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Manchester United as well, the squad depth, they don't have the depth that, you know, a Chelsea or an Arsenal have. So yeah, a frustrating one, good win for Aston Villa, but overall, I've been happy with Manchester United, and I know that Mark Skinner will be very disappointed in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think watching Manchester United this season, I think they've been one of the better teams to watch. Even yesterday, I wasn't massively blown away by Chelsea, considering the squad that they've got. I wasn't massively blown away by their football, Ange. And Arsenal, you know, just something's missing. Something's missing there. I think it's set up for Man City this time, to be honest, or Man United.
I agree.
Yeah, to go and win the league and the Champions League, the new league format, taken obviously from the men's format, is throwing up a few interesting things as well. Looking ahead to what's coming up today, Ange, I mean, any juicy ones in there? I've got my eyes on London City, of course. Their game, they've got Spurs, who have been in decent form.
Yes, I've watched London City Lionesses a few times now, and I've actually been pleasantly surprised. I mean, you get a lot of the time the promoted side, they end up, you know, going straight back down, but, you know, you buy about 17 new players, then you know, you're probably not going to. So, you know, props to them. I'm a big fan of Michelle Kang. I don't know about you, Shebahn, but I just feel like
she terminated my sister's contract, so I'm not allowed to.
Okay, maybe not then.
It's a whole thing at home,
right?
Man.
Okay, forget it. I was liking the fashion and the sunglasses, but you know what?
Yeah, she's
I'm gonna give her a dirty. I'm giving her a dirty look next time I see her. Don't you worry.
Thanks.
But yeah, obviously Liverpool are facing Brighton. They are now missing Michelle Adjeman, who was with them on loan because of her ACL. Liverpool, you know, really not been good considering they got a big profit from selling Olivia Smith to Arsenal. Don't think they've invested that well. West Ham, Leicester City, kind of battle of two of the not most amazing teams, but Everton, Manchester City, if City get a win, which I would imagine they would on paper, they will go top of the league.
Angelina, quick one. I was at the Spurs Stadium yesterday. Manchester United thought first half really good. Amorim still got lots of challenges there though, isn't there?
Yes, definitely. I think the main thing is you look at some of these games recently and last season, and I don't want this to be kind of an excuse, but last season United would have lost those games. So I think the fact that they have the fight and that they are still trying to force through results is a positive for me. But, you know, it wasn't, you know, the most aesthetically pleasing game, shall we say, but nevertheless pretty, you know, dramatic and exciting. I just found it so funny that Spurs booed Thomas Frank when Simmons came off and then Tell came on and then he goes and scores. A few people having to retract a few of those boos. But, you know, shame about Šeško as well, you know, having to go down to 10 players for the rest of the game. That was a little bit frustrating. But, But yeah, it's just one of those. We didn't lose. This is how bad it is as a Man United fan. We didn't lose the game. We still got a point.
Listen,
and we're in the top half of the table.
I'd say that's positive, Ange. I'll take it. Listen, thank you so much for coming on this morning. Get yourself back to bed, okay?
Thank you.
Angelina Kelly from talkSPORT there. Thank you very much. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll get into the Sunday back pages. Good morning. Good morning, you're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT with Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. Some of your headlines. What?
No, nothing.
What?
I was waiting for a line of something else coming.
Oh. What, do you not want to be Marseille anymore?
No, I loved it in Marseille. What a place that was.
Yeah. I need to hear
amazing football club.
Yeah.
Just the fans going to the stadium, because the Stade Velodrome is one hell of a place to play football.
Yeah.
It really was.
How old were you then?
I joined Marseille at 31, just turned 31, and left there at 34. So I had 3 years.
What was your best time? Best club? Personally, best time?
My best time was Republic of Ireland, because just the experience of international football. But I would certainly put Millwall in there. Yeah. Gillingham, I did 6 years, amazing. I loved it when I joined Villa. Celtic was hard, but what a club! It is an incredible club. Didn't play my best football. Chelsea was really good. I enjoyed it. Again, I had 3 knee operations at Chelsea.
3?
three knee operations at Chelsea, and I loved it. I mean, I'd say I had a bad time playing for Celtic, but I didn't have a bad time as in, you know, the way I felt about the club.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like every club I played for, I've still had relationships with people I worked there with.
Yeah.
You know, so
Nice.
yeah.
That's nice. Like the way
Been lucky.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
I'm lucky.
Lots of good experiences.
Yeah. And even when
You've lived.
even when it fails and it don't go well for you, you learn a lot, because you learn a lot about yourself as well.
As they say, you don't lose, you learn. Nice candid chat this morning from Tony. Just some of your other headlines, by the way. McLaren's Lando Norris will start in pole position in today's Sao Paulo Grand Prix, with Lewis Hamilton starting 13th after a tough qualifying session. We'll have the updates on Game Day Live. And it was a busy day in the autumn Nations Rugby yesterday. Let's get the latest with Tenor Men.
Autumn Internationals update on talkSPORT with Tenor Men. Use our online product selector tool to explore an unbeatable product range. Approved by the Men's Health Lab.
And here's talkSPORT's Alfie Reynolds with what went down.
2 wins for England so far in November. Fiji beaten at Twickenham yesterday, 38 points to 18. England weren't at their best. It was a close game, but they got the job done. Something Jamie George, the England hooker, told me afterwards shows how much this team are developing.
The strength of the squad is brilliant, and you just got to look at some of the quality that isn't involved, you know, in the match day 23 today. And you know, you got the likes of George Ford and Freddie Stewart and, you know, Sam Underhill, and it's just unbelievable. Steve puts a big emphasis on making sure that we finish the games well, probably because 12 months ago that was something we didn't do.
Up next for Steve Borthwick's side, it's the All Blacks at Twickenham in a week's time. A match that could well define their 2025 and will certainly be a big decider in how we view their November series. Ollie Chesham, the England second row, told talkSPORT afterwards that he is excited to go up against the All Blacks.
I'm so excited. I've never had an opportunity to play against these boys, so I'll be chomping on the bit in training next week to try and, you know, get an opportunity to be out here next weekend. But I think I speak for the whole squad. You know, when the All Blacks are in town, everything goes to a new level. Everything's got that extra bit of bite about it.
As for New Zealand, they beat Scotland at Murrayfield yesterday in a brilliant encounter. And elsewhere yesterday, another brilliant day of rugby. South Africa beat France at the Stade de France in that World Cup quarter-final rematch, and there were big wins for Italy against Australia, and Ireland beat Japan. As for today, Wales have a massive fixture against Argentina at home. They'll be looking to back up their last victory, which was against Japan in the summer.
And that game happens today at the Principality Stadium from 3:10. All of the updates for you here on talkSPORT. Alfie Reynolds, thank you very much. That was all thanks to Tenor Men.
Autumn Internationals update on talkSPORT with Tenor Men. Use our online product selector tool to explore an unbeatable product range. Approved by the Men's Health Lab.
And Sam Stevens is here for a look at today's back pages. Good morning.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dream Team. Yes, SESKO on the back page of the Ton this morning. Samuel Luckhurst, Ruben Amorim fears Benjamin Sesko suffered a serious knee injury that could force Manchester United to spend in January. The £74 million striker came on during the second half of the 2-2 draw at Spurs, but was forced off following a collision with Mickey van der Ven. And the club's forward crisis will be amplified when Brian Mbeumo and Amad Diallo heads to the Africa Cup of Nations, which starts on December the 21st. This is a big problem for United, isn't it, Cass, if Sesko's out for a while?
Of course, yeah. I mean, Sesko hasn't set the place on fire, has he, since he's joined at Manchester United?
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced it's a bad injury because I was there yesterday and immediately thought it was. So, look, Xerxes going to have to step up. You know, if you want to, you know, what did they spend? 30 million on Xerxes? He's going to have to play. Maybe it'll benefit the club because Xerxes been there quite a while now, and you got to ask someone else to step in. I didn't like Kuna in that, Matthias Kuna in that position yesterday. Didn't think it worked for him in the centre forward role. I thought he struggled, and he didn't really play it as a natural way, which you'd expect. So, yeah. So it's a blow for United.
I thought Mason Mount looked good when he came on yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he certainly his energy. Again, a player that's had so many injuries that Mason's a good player, and they need him on the pitch more regular because missed too much football.
And what did you make of Sesko up close yesterday?
Well, he had two opportunities, and both of them he got the ball caught on his feet. With the one he got injured, wasn't quite quick enough to react. Tough one for him. He's not really got going, has he? And he's really good both feet. He's good with left foot and right foot, but we haven't seen that in a United shirt yet.
Now, Everton picked up a good win yesterday, didn't they? 1-2-0 against Fulham. They look like they are sort of moving somewhat in the right direction, obviously under David Moyes, doing a very fine job, as always. But there does seem to be a bit of an issue up front. They keep chopping and changing their strikers. They start with one and then replace them with the other one. It's either Barry and then it's Beto, or it's Beto and then it's Barry. And in the paper this morning, a really interesting link. Everton boss David Moyes ready to go for Ivan Toney in January's transfer window.
Interesting
Moyes
one.
has lost patience, it says here, with Beto and Barry. And they look like they might want to get 29-year-old Toney ready to leave Al Ali, despite being a hit there with 11 goals in his last 15 games. Which is
Look, Beto has got, one goal, and Barry hasn't scored. I was wanting to say we wanted a better Barry.
He had the ball. He had the ball in the net yesterday, didn't he? But it was just offside.
Well, he did. But I tell you what, and the Evertonians were brilliant to him yesterday because he missed a great chance at Sunderland, didn't he? Which 9 times out of 10, anyone you'd expect to finish, he didn't. But the Evertonians were fantastic yesterday. Reaction to him and his performance. All he can do is do what he done yesterday. Work his backside off, chase everything, lead the line, and I thought he did that really well for Everton yesterday. Other people benefited from that, but he done without scoring. He played really well. It's probably his best performance for an Everton yesterday. So Moyes will be happy with that. Of course, you're judged on numbers. You always will be as a centre forward. And Beto and Barry, between them so far, have got 1 goal for Everton. So that is an issue in itself.
You like the sound of Ivan Toney to Everton?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. That's pricked my ears up ever so slightly. I think it'd be great to see him back in the Premier League. He is a great goal scorer. Obviously, he's doing his job out there in that league.
Yeah.
And obviously a World Cup around the corner. So he'd be wanting to be back here on the doorstep, wouldn't he, of Thomas Tuchel?
Doesn't look like he's knocking on that door, does it, at the moment? So you wonder whether the Premier League move in January might suit him for that reason.
Certainly.
Well,
if he's scoring goals in the Prem again, he'd be back in there.
I said yesterday, didn't I, about the history of Everton and centre forwards.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ivan Toney would fit that role. They do love a big centre forward there.
I think everyone thought that Spurs would be the natural fit for Toney if he comes back to the Premier League. Just the Thomas Frank connection. Obviously, Spurs seem to be a bit short in that area as well, but that's a link, isn't it, as well?
True.
Can I just very quickly bring you one more?
Go for it.
Very quickly. Pep Guardiola, big piece here of Sam Wallace in the Telegraph this morning. The judgment on when to leave is often the decision botched by the greatest managers, not least because that instinct for survival is necessarily so strong in them that it's hard to bypass. And for Pep Guardiola, it will be just the same. 1,000 games for Pep today. Absolutely sensational. Wonderful piece that Sky did on him yesterday, looking at all the managers that have also made 1,000 games, leaving him little video messages. Do you think this is a big call for him, Cass, in terms of when he leaves, in terms of stepping down at the right time? Or do you get the sense that there's still a lot of life in the old dog?
Oh, there's a lot of life left in Pep. And, you know, if you just think of it like this, if you have a contract talks with Haaland and you're the manager and you know that they're making negotiations via the agents to the club, you know, one of the questions from Marlon would be, well, the manager, Pep. Now, if he signed a 9-year deal, I'll be surprised if Pep said, well, I'm only going to do 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. I think Pep will try and stay as long as he can. He has an incredible relationship with the people upstairs. Quite clearly, they trust him. They bring in people that he wants. They've had huge success under Pep. I think he'll be a lot longer than people think. I don't see it ending in the next year. I just don't.
Fascinating hearing yesterday how much he enjoyed the battles with Klopp and even the likes of like Sam Allardyce and Tony Pulis and all that over the years. And
Those
English
tributes were lovely, actually. Yeah. It was a really nice piece towards Pep, and you could tell that it meant a lot to him as well. But
he loves it at City. It's quite clear he really has. I mean, I remember doing an FA Cup game at Leyton Orient last year, and Pep was there doing a press conference, and you could tell how much of a good relationship he has with City.
Yeah, I know. So it's very clear. His 1,000th game in charge today, to sustain that, you know, success over that period of time shows how good he is, and the way he always reinvent things, the way he's kind of changed football as well all over the world. You know, the impact he's had is quite incredible. Don't forget the updates from that game, City against Liverpool, coming for you here on talkSPORT today. Sam, thank you very much. That was a look at today's back pages. Coming up next, like we say, we'll get stuck into today's blockbuster action. Good morning.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punch bag for many fans. So what happened? Let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. The important context here is that over the last 3 years, the club has lost over 300 million quid. And from day dot, Ratcliffe committed to fixing this, which of course is the right thing for the club. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way Sir Jim Ratcliffe, accompanied by Sir Dave Brailsford, went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands their lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches, which the higher-ups at the club say will save them £1 million a year. Now that might make sense for many who don't get free meals at work themselves, but it gets a little bit more picky than that. It was reported that after staff brought some stationery, they were ordered to send sellotape back because it wasn't considered essential. The reward for being Steward of the Week used to be 50 quid, but that was scrapped and replaced by a paper certificate. And such is the grip Ratcliffe has on spending, he reportedly scrapped company credit cards, meaning some staff racking up hundreds of pounds worth of expenses and spending weeks out of pocket waiting to be reimbursed. But it's not just the stingy decisions around the amount of tea bags in the cafeteria. In 2024 alone, Ratcliffe oversaw 250 redundancies and more were announced at the beginning of 2025. Now, while there are people who acknowledge that United staff numbers are overinflated, it's the optics which aren't great. Because while all this has been going on, Casemiro's getting paid 350 grand a week, and the club forked out 14 million quid getting rid of Eric Ten Hag and Dan Ashworth. But United fans' rage doesn't just stop here at the cuts. Ratcliffe's unpopular decision to introduce a flat ticket price of 66 quid for every fan, even children, certainly did not go down well. For fans, it feels like the very foundation of the club's support is being attacked for the sake of making marginal financial gains. But Ratcliffe has backed it, saying if you shy away from difficult decisions, then nothing is going to change. And time will tell whether these measures will improve operations at the club and help drag standards up on the pitch. But one thing's for sure, his first year wasn't exactly a charm offensive, and there's still a long way to go for United to be back to where many say they belong.
Good morning, welcome to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Shebahn Aherne, and former Celtic and Villa striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Spurs and Manchester United shared the spoils at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yesterday.
The crossing towards the back post, it's De Ligt, and he has stolen a point. He's got up highest and he's headed the ball beyond Vicario, and Manchester United have managed to come back and garner a point.
Seen a bit of character there, Cass. No, just a laugh. It finished 2-2. Everton also ended their 3-game winless run with a win over Fulham.
And it's Everton who picked up the 3 points. Everton 2, Fulham 0. They were by much the better side, particularly in the first half. And they will be finally looking up the table again after looking over their shoulder for a few weeks. Everton 2, Fulham 0.
And Sunderland kept their unbeaten record, at the Stadium of Light alive thanks to a last-ditch equaliser against the league leaders Arsenal.
Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Equaliser coming from one of the new Sunderland signings over the summertime, Brian Brobby.
Is the title race alive and well, my friends? 03717 22 33 8 at 10 89. We've got lots coming up for you this morning on the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Right, this isn't me being reactive, okay?
Yeah.
But we are only 11 games in.
Yeah.
And yes, Arsenal have been magnificent and they're still unbeaten, right? Brilliant.
Yeah.
But when you look at Chelsea, when you look at Manchester City, the other teams who are up there, are we thinking just too soon it might be Arsenal to win it?
Well, you're only going based what you've seen so far, and Arsenal have clearly been the best team. Clearly. I mean, I wouldn't take yesterday's result, a draw at Sunderland, as a poor result. Did I expect Arsenal to win? Yeah. They're very capable, but Sunderland are very underrated. And like I said earlier, they are not a team that's just got promoted. They've come up with a new team, a new recruitment structure that's built a side that is dangerous. One thing you saw yesterday, they're the only team to score. Arsenal have conceded before yesterday 3 goals all season in all competitions.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? They've scored 2 against them. That just shows you how well Sunderland, or how much of a problem they gave Arsenal yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have seen it. Look, Sunderland were lying second before the game. They're a dangerous side.
Arsenal fans, you can let us know your thoughts on it this morning, 81089, if you want to get in touch with the show. It was also a busy day in the Championship yesterday. We had it all covered for you here on the talkSPORT network.
And the top 2 in the Championship go toe-to-toe on your home of the EFL, talkSPORT 2. Sims flicks it. Oh, no, it's in! And it's a terrific finish from Mason Clark. It's acrobatic as he fires it into the top corner.
The referee signals full time at the Den. And Preston's winning streak ends at 3. They get a point at Millwall to move up to 3rd. Millwall stay 5th in this clash of 2 sides, bidding to get involved in the playoff shake-up come the end of the season.
Norwich 1, Leicester 2, 7 successive league defeats at home for Norwich, and Liam Manning's job surely hanging by a thread.
Southampton 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1, just 2 minutes after the restart of the second half. A mistake by Dominic Iorfa, and Adam Armstrong pounced for his 5th goal of the season.
Swansea 1, Ipswich 4, game, set and match to Ipswich, and it's a second own goal of the afternoon for Cameron Burgess, the former Ipswich defender.
So Coventry beat Stoke 1-0 in the game at the top, live on talkSPORT 2. Frank Lampard's side extending their lead at the top of the champ. Norwich were defeated 2-1 last night, and then Liam Manning was sacked from his role at Norwich after that defeat. Southampton beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-1. Back-to-back wins for the Saints since they sacked Will Stelkas.
Yeah.
I mean, with an interim manager, and then you see the same team now starting to win, he must be so frustrated with that. I mean, it's not even the new manager, it's an interim manager who's there, and now the team can win back-to-back.
Do you blame the players for that, or...?
I kind of can't help but wonder if the players down tools.
Well, obviously, you have coaches that have their tactics, and they, try and implement them in a game, and if it doesn't work, sometimes players don't buy into it quite as good as they should do. But this management spring happens regularly. It's all about consistency, football, and how long, over a long period of time, you do. Now, is it indictment on players if you suddenly start winning games? I mean, the fans don't care, because all they want to see, like West Ham fans, they've seen back-to-back wins. So if you're in trouble, and there are some clubs that obviously that feel they need to make changes, they want results. They need results, because take Norwich with Liam Manning, who's had a dreadful run, and they've had 7 home defeats. You're not going to survive. You're just not going to survive. Okay, but the club now would be fearing relegation to League One.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yep.
Take someone like Josh Sargent, who I think is a decent player. At that level, can get you goals. He scored 6 goals in the first, I think, 5 games, right? He hasn't scored a goal since. For whatever reason, again, the American international hasn't got going. I don't know why, because, again, I don't watch Norwich every week. But if you look at numbers games, sometimes it's obvious. But, Sheffield United did the same thing. They had a dreadful start to the season. What they do, they changed the manager, and they've had results under Chris Wilder. They've picked up, they've got to what they got now. They're on 10 points. But it's been a struggle. Chris is having to pick up the pieces of a club that changed a hell of a lot during the summer.
True.
And so it's a really difficult thing, management, to get right.
Yeah, let's hear more now about what's going on at Carrow Road this season. Like we say, defeat yesterday against Leicester was Norwich's 8th successive home loss. Liam Manning then lost his job after that defeat. Here to give us more on this, we can speak to Eastern Daily Press writer Will Jennings for more. Good morning, Will.
How are you,
Morning,
Will?
guys. How you doing?
Yeah, well, you know better than me, Norwich. I'd said my piece there. Will, what would you say or add on to what I've said?
Yeah, I was there yesterday, another sort of dramatic day at Carrow Road. Long and short of it is you can't lose 7 out of 7 home games in the league. I think 8 including the Carabao Cup, 7 out of 8 in all competitions and survive it. It's a, indefensible record. You never really gave us fans any sort of moments to get behind or anything that really sort of gave any sort of hope or optimism that he could sort of turn it around. So at the end of the day, there were protests after the game yesterday, many of which directed at Liam Manning, also many of which directed elsewhere, which I'll come on to in a second, because I think there are bigger issues at the club. But yeah, at the end of the day, the buck stops the manager and he had to go. What I would say is that I would probably place most of the blame on the sporting director at this point. Like you said, Josh Sargent is probably the one sort of shining light in that squad. Started the season quite well, but really been starved of service, of his sort of side lacking any sort of creativity or spark. And I'd probably put more of the blame on Ben Napper's door, our sporting director, who came in 2 seasons ago off the back of a playoff securing season under David Wagner. Got rid of Wagner on the grounds that, the football was slightly too negative and wanted us to go in a different direction. Brings in a young, sort of unknown Danish manager in Johannes Hofthorp, who gave us sort of sparks last season, but then sacked him after coming 14th, which at the minute looks, head and shoulders above what we're doing under Liam Manning. And then sells one of our star players to Ipswich and Marcelino Nunez, spends 55 million over the last 3 transfer windows on what at the minute looks like unproven, unknown, not up to scratch championship players. And I do think that to a certain extent, Liam Manning was dealt a really tough and bad hand by Ben Napper. I think the squad is mid-table at best. Like I said, he should be getting more out of those players. It's not a squad that should be 23rd in the championship, and that's his job. And if he's not getting the best out of those players like Josh Sargent and others, then that's on him. But it'll be fascinating to see now if we do get a couple of results, like you mentioned, sort of Southampton or West Ham. Is this squad better than we all think it is? I'm not too sure. I mean, it should be performing better than 23rd, but I do think that it's a pretty average squad, and we are now in a sort of full-blown relegation scrap. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens from here. Do they sort of pull their finger out and show that perhaps, they weren't playing for the manager and they do have more ability than we thought? Or is it, in fact, a really bang average squad? And if it is, I think, ultimately it's going to be the sporting director who's on the chopping block next rather than the next manager.
Yeah, it seems incredible. I mean, Norwich get 26,000 every week at a home game. They've got a huge following. And the club should be, in my opinion, every season, if they're in the championship, challenging for at least the playoffs.
No, I completely agree. Absolutely. We should be playing a sort of dynamic, positive brand of football, trying to get back into the Premier League. Through my years sort of growing up over the last 20 years, we've been sort of the archetypal sort of yo-yo club, up down, and it's now been 4 years of championship stagnation. And like I said, sort of since, even when we came 6th under David Wagner, sort of fans still weren't really content at the brand of football and sort of how we were playing, and it almost feels like we are quite literally going backwards now. And we're all saying sleepwalking towards League One. We're now sort of heading to an absolute free fall towards League One because it doesn't even look like we can get a point on the board at the minute. So in the short term, change had to be made, and it's obviously a lot easier to probably sack a manager than it is a sporting director. And fingers crossed that can bring around a change in results. But I do think sort of in terms of the long term vision of the club, do I trust this sporting director to get a 3rd managerial appointment correct? Because he's got the first 2 wrong. Do I trust him with another sort of January transfer window? Probably not, because you look at the players that he signed and they just don't look up to scratch. And
well, who are they looking to bring in?
I've seen a few names sort of knocking around. Gary O'Neill, but would he come? I see he's just turned down the Wolves job, and I'm not sure how that would potentially sit with fans. I think there's a desire for sort of Norwich to bring in sort of a manager in the sort of Thorpe role from last season who played an attractive sort of brand of football. So would that be a Michael Carrick, or see Carlos Corberán, who's apparently on the way out of Valencia, could be coming back to the Championship? So there's always at a point now, it's 2 different directions. Do you go for sort of a younger, sort of more principled, possession-based project manager, or do you bring in a sort of relegation scrapper, which I personally wouldn't be that averse to, because we need results sooner rather than later to sort of get us out of this mess.
All right, well, thank you so much for your updates on that this morning from the Eastern Daily Press writer Will Jennings. Take care of yourself, Will.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All the best to you. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll begin our previews of today's Premier League action. Good morning.
Let me take a selfie.
Well, if you're hanging out your backside after a big night last night, this will wake you up.
Yes.
Yes.
Reminds me of another song as well, that start, the intro music.
Yeah. That gets you going, doesn't it?
Do you dance to this?
Don't get me wrong, back in the day, if that came on, Mama would be shaking it on the dance floor. Let me take a selfie on Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Why are we playing it? Well, did you watch Manchester City play Dortmund earlier on in the week in the Champions League?
Yeah.
They won 4-1. Foden, when he scored his first goal, ran over to this lad in the crowd and they celebrated together and they got a selfie. And everyone was like, oh, must be like a relative of Foden's or his old best mate or whatever. Foden then said afterwards, had no idea who the geezer was. No idea. They looked like the closest of friends. It went viral all over the world. His name is Giacomo Montenegro, and he's told talkSPORT.
What's a name?
Giacomo Montenegro.
Wow.
He's Italian. He told talkSPORT how it all came about.
Hi guys, thank you for having me today. I'm really happy to be here. I was in England with my family to celebrate our birthdays. We want to experience football in its homeland, and we chose Manchester for a beautiful way city place. When Foden scored, I moved closer to the pitch, hoping for a hug. And instead, something magical happened, the selfie that went around the world. It was an incredible moment, full of emotion and love from so many fans. I hope it can happen again, because football is all about bringing people together. And of course, a big thank you to Phil Foden and talkSPORT for having me today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Giacomo Montenegro
That
is
was brilliant, that.
your viral guy with Phil Foden. I bet you Phil sent him a shirt or something. Phil will track that down.
Yeah, why not? Why not? That's great. That's really good stuff. I mean, he is so Italian. I mean, there's Italian, and that's really Italian.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Who would you get a selfie with? I know you're not a selfie kind of guy, but if you were to get a selfie with one person, dead or alive? Well,
dead or alive?
Could be ugly.
David Bowie.
Yes.
David Bowie.
Yeah, that's a good choice, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sure.
I nearly had the opportunity to meet him.
Oh.
Because one of the directors at Luton he worked for the contracts for, I think it was Sony, who obviously negotiated with David Bowie over all the contracts. And I met him along the way, as you do when you go, because sometimes you get invited in. And John Steele was the manager at Luton at the time, so I met a good few people at Luton, and he, mentioned about Bowie, and I thought, I'm going to get a link in there, I'm going to get a chance to, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
He passed away probably about a year after that. So it was around. I remember, what year did Bowie die? 16 was it? Something like that. 2016.
Was it that long ago?
16, 17 maybe. I sort of think around that time.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think around that time.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
God, what a huge loss he was, An amazing musician. 2016.
I was right, yeah, 2016.
Right, yeah. Coming up, by the way, today it's Aston Villa against Bournemouth. We'll have all the updates here on Game Day Live on talkSPORT. A win for Andoni Areola's side would see them jump to second in the table, while Aston Villa's form has improved after a poor start. Before the game, Areola spoke about how important timing is when playing certain teams.
It's true that we are facing them probably in the best moment of their season, in the sense that after not a very good start, they've gone to the normal, because they've been very good the previous seasons. The 2 seasons I've been here, I think they've played Champions League, now Europa League, so it's a team of that level, and it's going to be another difficult one. I think we are coming from the City away game, and now we are going to, in a different way, but it's going to be this level of difficulty, yes.
Really keen to see how this one goes, Cass.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, what is your favourite game? This one?
I don't know if it's my favourite. I'd say more this afternoon's, Liverpool, I'd say is my favourite one to look forward to today. But in terms of Villa being on good form,
Villa
and what Bournemouth have been doing this season.
Bournemouth are fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, they're a side that I just love watching. Villa have now got to sort of the level that we saw a lot last season. Obviously, Ollie Watkins has had a bit of an injury problem, hasn't he? An issue. But Villa I thought Unai Emery's got it turned around again at Villa, because they started the season poorly, just didn't get going at all. And I think they are now. Villa and that'll be a cracking game, Villa against Bournemouth.
Yeah, both managers are from the same district in Spain.
Are they? Yeah. I didn't no idea on that, but boy, they produce good footballing teams, and they certainly, it's a tough one to call because this game for Villa is always a tricky one when they play someone, not the biggest club, but have a style of play that will go after you.
Yeah.
So they play away games, Bournemouth, like they're at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they play.
Yeah.
So they come to your backyard and want to take you on.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. John McGinn got a new contract, didn't he, for the club? That was announced earlier on in the week.
Yeah, rightly so.
He made his 300th Villa appearance on Thursday in the win over Maccabi Tel Aviv. And he believes that they're now recovering from the hangover of missing out on the Champions League.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Look, Villa's a club that have progressed under Unai Emery, and there's been some difficult challenges. And the challenges is that they couldn't kick on with finance.
Mm-hmm.
They had they were handcuffed to a certain degree. And that's hurt Villa. All that progress that's been made. Yeah. This is where financial fair play gets a little bit lost for me. Yeah. It's because you put all this investment to get a team to a certain level, and then it's literally handbrake on. We can't do much, and we have to let certain people go. Yeah.
Prediction for this one?
Ooh. I'll probably edge on the draw, and that's a safety net one, but I'd probably edge on the draw because I think Bournemouth will cause Villa problems. Right. And likewise, you can. When I saw the Palace Bournemouth game, it was literally ding dong. You couldn't pick a winner. Yeah. It really was. For 60 minutes, Bournemouth were by far the better team, but by the end, Palace deserved the draw.
Villa Bournemouth at 2:00 this afternoon. All of the updates for you on Game Day Live here on talkSPORT. Coming up next here on Weekend Sports Breakfast, we're going to be joined here in the studio by our artist of the week. He's a Hibs fan. His name's Brodie Barclay. He's with us next. Good morning, how are you today? Welcome along to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Villa striker and a man who knows how to do a shampoo set, Tony Cascarino. Cass, you know the Manchester United guy, Frank Elliott, with the big hair?
Oh, yes, the one have it cut, yeah.
Yeah, so you know he's back to square one. So it needs to be 5 wins in a row, not 5 games unbeaten. Because if it were 5 games unbeaten, your man would be all trimmed up this morning.
It could be a long time.
But I was just thinking maybe we could get him here in the studio and you could do a little shampoo
No.
set. That's a no then.
No.
I think he said no. Some of your headlines you're waking up to today. Hibs eased to a comfortable 3-0 win away to St Mirren to regain 3rd place in the Scottish Premiership yesterday. More on that in a minute. Australia thrashed England at 38 in the 3rd and final Rugby League Ashes test at Headingley to complete a 3-0 series victory. Well done them. And today sees the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. We'll have updates from the race from 5 o'clock with Piers Pryor, not Piers Morgan, but our man John Jackson is in Brazil ahead of the race. All right for some, Johnny boy.
Here in Sao Paulo ahead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. I've got a special guest with me, Brandon Burgess from Full Time Formula. You might have seen him on social media. You've been self-funding, Brandon, your whole season, and he's been to every single race so far. And next year he's going to every race as well, but someone else is paying for it.
That is true. Next year I've been gifted the world's first ever F1 season ticket by Heineken. So it's going to be an absolutely incredible year once again, and a bit easier than doing it on a 20 grand budget I've been doing this year.
Tell me about it. Living everybody's dream. We saw Lando Norris win the sprint race. Who's going to win today?
Who's going to win today? Max Verstappen is going to win today.
And Max Verstappen actually presented Brandon with the season ticket card as well.
He did. That still blows my mind. I can't even believe that actually happened. It feels like a bit of a dream, to be honest, to meet Max Verstappen. But he was such a nice guy, and giving me the season ticket it's just an incredible thing.
I think we're all absolutely jealous of this. He'll be at every race this season and next season, and of course we'll bring you race updates for every race as well, and that will continue later on today on talkSPORT.
Oh, lovely stuff, John Jackson. Your man gets around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
Yeah.
That is a good one, our Johnny there. Updates coming for you on talkSPORT later on today, and it's time now for this.
Call me crazy, but I don't think it makes a difference. Cowboy chooses to love.
That's the strains of Brodie Barclay from Perthshire.
Yes.
Brodie is with us now. Good morning.
Hi, Brodie.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you here.
Does that feel funny?
It does.
Listening to yourself?
It does, yeah. It does.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thanks.
very
Yeah, no, it feels, holy moly. Can't believe I'm here. This is crazy.
You have a lovely voice.
Thank you very much.
A really lovely voice, even a nice speaking voice as well.
Thank you.
You sound familiar.
I was made for the radio. That's what my mum always says.
We are live on the smart TV as well, so smile for the camera. You're a Hibs fan.
Yeah.
That was a good result yesterday, up to 3rd now.
It was, yeah, and I wasn't necessarily expecting it. We started really well this season, especially in Europe, but it's sort of form dipped recently, so it was nice to get a quite convincing win for the first time in a while.
And you got a season ticket as well, right?
A season ticket holder as well. So what's it feel like as a Hibs fan seeing Hearts being top of the table?
I mean, do you know what? Well, obviously terrible, and also just because it's great though seeing the league so competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate them doing well. But do you know? I'm almost more happy that Celtic and Rangers aren't doing as well.
You're more happy about our demise.
Yeah, you're a Celtic fan, aren't you?
Journey, yeah.
You're not planning on doing any gigs in Scotland, are you?
Hopefully,
just set up upset Hearts fans, Celtic and Rangers.
I'm hopefully playing at Easter Road at some point.
I was going to say, have you played for them yet?
No, not yet. Right. But that's the goal, is to sell out Easter Road. I don't really care about anything else.
That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
Well, great. I mean, it's good to have you here because hopefully they'll hear you this morning and then maybe they'll give you a wee shout.
Fingers crossed. My first gig ever was the Proclaimers.
Was it?
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Do you know what, Cass?
We were talking about them last week, a couple of weeks ago, wasn't we?
They're underrated.
Oh, unreal.
So.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
They've made some great songs. You know,
Sunshine on Leith, specifically.
They've done so many great songs that we sort of forget, caught up in just the big one-hit wonder sort of sort of a scenario.
Yeah, everyone just thinks Proclaimers 500 miles.
Yes, and
last dance at a wedding, that's all they've ever done.
Yeah.
But the last dance at our wedding, one of them was Life With You from the Proclaimers.
Oh,
I mean,
class.
what a great song. I mean, people just... And Sunshine on Leith. I mean, that makes me want to be a Hibs fan, for the love of God.
Yeah, the amount of times I've cried to that song.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and
Can you sing that now?
yeah, it was way better than the one I'm going to sing.
Tell us about this one. We're not allowed to say the name on here because it's jailbait. It's 7:38.
It is, yeah, which is just so like silly for me to write a song that you can't say the name of on the radio.
It's intriguing though. It gets everybody in a little bit more to go, oh,
It does,
I'm
yeah.
going to find out who this guy is.
Yeah, check out the name of that song. I'm actually singing a different song because I'm not allowed to sing that song.
Well, loads of songs have been bad for radio and have been proven to be very successful. So
Yeah.
you might be okay.
I didn't realise that was the route I was taking, but I stand by it. It's
Yeah,
a
fair
great
play.
decision, hopefully.
So you're going to sing Bad Routines?
Bad routines,
Bad
yeah.
routines.
All right. Well, take it away.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT, and here's our artist of the week, Hibs fan. His name is Brodie Barclay. Go on.
My favourite shape's a bubble 'cause I've been living in one all of my life. And God forbid that it ever bursts, 'cause then I'd have to put in work. I've been breathing easy, slipping into bad routines and counting blessings I've no right to have. Oversleeping evenings, misinterpreting the feeling that what'll be will come to pass. That what'll be will come to pass. And little did I ever know 'twas my ego, not my soul. With both hands on the steering wheel, fully in control. I've been breathing easy, slipping into bad routines and counting blessings I've no right to have. Oversleeping evenings, misinterpreting the feeling that what'll be will come to pass. That what'll be will come to pass. And every other day I get lost round about the place I grew up. You'd think that I'd know better by now. Forever I've been headed south. Now I'm walking on the thinnest of ice, on the most pitch black of nights. Water's all around me now, so soaked that it can't be fixed by rice. I've been breathing easy, slipping into bad routines and counting blessings I've no right to have. Oversleeping evenings, misinterpreting the feeling that what'll be will come to pass. That what'll be will come to pass.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Great stuff.
Thank
Brilliant.
you very much.
What a lovely song, eh?
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you so much. That's the best voice crack I've ever done as well at the start. I'm so glad that happened.
Oh, that was
you've
really
got,
great.
I mean, to sing live like that,
Yeah.
live on that is what a lovely voice you've got.
Thank you very much.
Really, really nice. I'm not just saying this because you're Scottish, but I think you're my favourite band of artists of the week.
Yes.
You are. It's really nice. Well done.
Really
Thank you
good.
so much. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
great
me.
stuff. Yeah.
Well done. So don't forget Brodie Barclay's EP that we cannot name.
Is that your real name,
available now.
Brodie?
Brodie Barclay.
Great name as well.
Brodie means ditch in Gaelic.
So you're going to say something else?
Ah.
No, yeah. Ditch.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's well. You learned
I
something.
live up to it.
There you go. Well done, you. Keep going for it. Fingers crossed. This performance will help you get a little
You
bit
got
Easter
gigs,
on-
gigs coming up?
You got gigs coming up.
I've got in January. I've not announced it yet, but in January I'll be in Glasgow.
Oh, great. Okay, good stuff. Well, Cass and I can come up for a wee New Year's trip then.
Yeah,
And get on the road.
please.
Is it going to be at the Rangers, Celtic?
Yeah, it's at Ibrox. Can't wait.
I mean, you'd surely rather Celtic to win the league than Hearts, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Hearts and definitely Hearts. I hate Hearts and Rangers. I hate Celtic the least.
You're not doing ticket sales, which is very good here.
I'm not. Yeah.
Let's be honest with you.
Can we? Is this live? Can I redo that?
All live. You're all out there. That was brilliant. Brodie Barclay, thank you so much for coming in. Keep going strong. That was absolutely brilliant. All of his music is available for you now, wherever you can stream and get your tunes from. Brodie, thank you very much for coming into talkSPORT. And it's time now for this.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
We have another cracker of a prize up for grabs for you. We've been great with the gifts recently, haven't we? This is a good one. We're giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to the highly anticipated rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Bain at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium next Saturday, the 15th of November. I was watching that fight. I nearly went to that fight and I thought, I wish I had gone. It looked absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
We have the chance to actually go again, Cass. We've got no excuse.
Next weekend,
and you could be going as well. You and a friend or a loved one. The prize also includes a one-night stay at a 5-star hotel in London, plus £5,000 at spending money. That's going to be amazing. Here's how you can get involved.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll look back on a bad day for Fulham, defeated by Everton yesterday. morning. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. Brodie Barclay was with us there
Yeah.
I mean, this bit of the song is just so beautiful. The Proclaimers, underrated, I'm telling you. Pump it up, eh?
I'm white. My room on this earth. I will be with you.
Are they still performing on the road?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're still getting huge audiences.
Absolutely. I've never seen them live.
No.
I mean, actually, I put that on the bucket list. Go to see Proclaimers, a big gig in Scotland, and you know, it'd be such a good night. But yeah, just try and get them on the show. Morning, lads. Some of your headlines this morning. Norwich have sacked Liam Manning after their 7th home loss, leaving them second from bottom in the Championship. We'll keep tabs on that, who they're looking at. Keep you posted here on talkSPORT. The Grand Slam of Darts is underway in Wolverhampton. Luke Littler, the current reigning champion. Again, we'll keep you up to date on that one. And another 2 o'clock kickoff this afternoon is Brentford against Newcastle. All the updates here for you on talkSPORT. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has called the game a test of defensive ability.
I see this game as a great opportunity rather than anything else to showcase that we can deliver away from home. I think that's how we have to look at it. We know there's pressure on us. We know our away form's not been good enough, but we're determined to try and put that right. I know we've had some good results there. I think it's always a difficult place to go. Their style of play this year, I think they've been very efficient, very effective at what they do. I mean, it's going to be a tough examination of our mentality and our ability to defend.
How do you see this one going, Cass? I mean, he mentioned that the away form has been very tricky for Newcastle this season.
Yeah, it's a tough one because the West Ham performance was dreadful. And Eddie Howe even said that he could have taken off anybody, and he made 3 changes. Valdemada came off, struggled in the game. Not quite sure how it's going to work out for him at the moment because Newcastle are good defensively, and I like their midfield, a lot of energy. Gordon's got loads of pace, but when he's out, it's a weird one because on paper you'd look at Newcastle and you go, they're going to get a lot of results over the course of the season. But I never saw that performance against West Ham coming.
Yeah.
I thought they were that bad in that game.
So poor in that game, which was strange.
They backed it up with a Champions League winning midweek. So
yeah, Athletic Club was
a bad day at the office, you could probably just say.
But again, that's at home. Like today, going away to Brentford.
Going away, they've not been good.
Brentford are throwing up a few issues.
Oh, absolutely. They've been decent and they've been very good. Obviously, in the G-Tech, they've been really good, Brentford. And this will be a tough game for Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely. 13th against 14th in the Premier League. 2 o'clock this afternoon is that game, Brentford versus Newcastle, as is Palace, Brighton and Forest against Leeds, and Aston Villa, Bournemouth. We'll touch on those a little bit later on. And then, of course, building up to the big one this afternoon, City against Liverpool is at 4:30 for you. That's going to be a cracker today. Let's talk about one of the other games that's coming up. Palace against Brighton. Shall we talk about that one?
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? In particular, that it's this derby the M23 derby.
I mean, funnily enough, a message came in actually the other day. I think it was a Friday's show. It was like, stop just referring to it as a derby. This is heated. This is a spicy one. You know, the fans get really built up.
Yeah. Do you know what? Every time I seem to talk about Crystal Palace and Brighton, especially over the last few years, they always seem to be next to each other in the Premier League table. Yeah. So it's like they're always around each other, you know, as in positions in the Premier League. And that's exactly the case again today.
Yeah.
Palace and Brighton are, you know, literally next to each other in the Premier League table.
No, yeah, you're
that's
right.
What that's.
Put Palace on 9th, Brighton on 10th.
Yeah. And both of them on their day are really good sides. I've gone on and on about Crystal Palace, about the way they play their formation. It really makes it hard for the opposition they just utilise their wing-backs brilliantly. Lacroix's done great alongside Gay, defender Richards. The way they do it, you know, Munoz, fullback, alongside Mitchell, really good goalkeeper. But you could do exactly the same with Brighton.
Yeah.
You could say give complimentaries. You know, Minter's a handful. Welbeck's done brilliantly well. You know, Baliba's a good player in midfield, dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, so got Dunk back as well now. So there's lots of good things in both teams. So it'd be a really close game.
Let's talk about Everton getting a win over Fulham yesterday. They won 2-0 at Hill Dickinson. Marco Silva's side 15th in the table now, just a point above the relegation zone. Any worries now for Fulham fans? Yeah, we can speak to Sammy James from the Fulhamish podcast. Good morning, Sammy. How are you?
Sammy.
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, thank you. Long journey back from Liverpool, but all right.
It's a really tough one because I feel for Marco Silva because obviously Jimenez, and he talked about it not being fit and having to literally wrap him up in cotton wool, get him out there, and then Muniz comes on, and they really do miss the presence of their centre forwards on peak condition.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the story of yesterday, really. I think Jimenez is knackered after having to fill in as the main centre forward. And you could just, beginning of the second half yesterday, I turned to my friend in the away end and I just said, Jimenez has just run out of gas. If he was on Football Manager, he'd be on like 1%. And then we bring on Muniz and you're like, great, okay, here we go. And for the first 5 minutes, Muniz looked electric. And then he has to go off with an injury for Adama Traore. And we were 1-0 down at that point. And the whole life just got sucked out of the away end. Because I think we all just knew at 1-0, you're thinking, okay, we haven't been great today, but maybe with Muniz on the pitch and some of our good substitutions, we've got a chance of getting something here. And as soon as Muniz went off and Adama Traore comes on, who is not the Adama Traore he used to be, you just knew. And then when Michael Keane decided to go and score with his shoulder, that was kind of that summed up the day, really.
Yeah. Tell me about Kevin, because obviously you pay big money for him, and there's a mixed feeling between Fulham fans, in my opinion, that what Kevin is for Fulham, and are we seeing a player that you feel will one day deliver?
One day, I'm pretty sure of it. I just think it's not today. I think you only have to look at what he achieved at Shakhtar in the Champions League. At a very, very high level, banging in goals, beating a man. He's electric. But I think, to be honest, he was never one for this season. And now it looks like we're relying on him for this season. Yeah. So, look, I like him. But also, he was up against James Garner, a midfielder, yesterday, and did he really get round him? I think maybe once or twice. It wasn't that impressive. And even the fact that Kevin's played 2 times in the Carabao Cup against Cambridge and Wickham, and I don't think he got the better of his man, just suggests to me that I don't know if he's ready to be anything more than an impact substitute.
So, Marco Silva looks a very unhappy man on the sidelines, and rightly so, because things aren't quite going his way. But I'd never say he's the most happiest anyway, but he looks more than miserable at the moment.
Yeah, he is extra Marco right now.
Sounds like a coffee. I'll have an extra Marco.
I'll have that with extra Marco, please. He's obviously very unhappy. I think that's gone from all the way through the summer when he didn't get the transfers he wanted at the right time. And now, I think a few games ago, he was upset about being injured. Yesterday, I got to say, I'm partially think it's on him. His players are back. He's had his players to work with for long enough. And yesterday just wasn't a good enough performance from start to finish. And I think Marco got his tactics wrong yesterday.
Is he still the man, Kevin? I mean, there's some whispers going around on social media that he's kind of losing it ever so slightly. Is he sorry, I called you Kevin, Sammy. Is he still the man for you?
That's all right. I can be mistaken with a very fast, pacey Brazilian winger. It's okay. I do think he is no, of course he's still the man. He's Marco Silva and he's been brilliant for us. I can't get on board with any of that. Do I think that maybe come the end of the season, it might have run its course, mostly for him? Yeah, sure. I don't know if he'll be our manager next season, but not because I think he deserves to get sacked or because I've had enough. I do just think, though, he needs to release the handbrake a little bit. I don't think yesterday was the game where we needed to start Sanderberger and Sasha Lukic, the double pivot in midfield that is quite slow and immovable and just quite ponderous. I think yesterday was the day to go with the exact same lineup as Wolves, which worked. We won 3-0, where you play Iwobi a bit deeper, you have a little bit more freedom in midfield. So it is just a bit... Marco's doing a few kind of baffling things at the moment, but... so far from wanting him gone.
Just a quick one. Do you think he'll stay up?
Yes. I think there's 3 worse teams.
Right. Okay.
All right. I like your confidence. Sammy James, podcaster, also known as Kevin. From Fulhamish. Sammy, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Cheers, Sammy.
Thanks, guys.
Take care of yourself. Thank you very much. The latest episode, by the way, of the talkSPORT Daily podcast is available for you now. It's Rory Jennings and Harry Symeou debating what is the best fixture in English football. You can let us know your thoughts on that this morning. There's a good one coming up for you this afternoon, 4:30, Man City against Liverpool. And you can get more on that in the talkSPORT Daily podcast now, wherever you listen to your podcast or on the talkSPORT app. Coming up next, we'll build up to that huge game at 4:30 this afternoon.
Formula One. It's a sport often seen as insular and elitist, but it's seen a meteoric rise under its owners Liberty Media, not only in popularity and viewership, but in the ability to almost print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across their social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good morning to you. Welcome along to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne alongside former Marseille and Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Lots coming up for you over the next hour. Chelsea up to second in the Premier League after beating managerless Wolves 3-0 at the Bridge.
There were muted boos an hour ago at half-time when Chelsea left the field, but Chelsea are second in the league. They've beaten Wolves tonight here on talkSPORT by 3-0.
Sunderland kept their unbeaten record at the Stadium of Light alive. That was all thanks to a last-ditch equaliser against the league leaders Arsenal.
Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. Equaliser coming from one of the new Sunderland signings over the summertime, Brian Brobby.
And there's a massive game ahead of you today in the Premier League. 4:30 kick-off. Pep Guardiola taking charge of his 1000th game as a manager. City take on none other than Liverpool.
2000 press conference plus flash interviews. No, when start, obviously no, but there's a joy. I enjoy every single. No, I would say I'm a liar. I didn't enjoy every single moment, but I enjoy a lot the journey. Yeah.
Quite incredible, isn't it? We'll continue to build up to that massive game this afternoon. All the updates coming for you from the Premier League and beyond here on Game Day Live on talkSPORT, and then all of your calls into the final word at the final whistle. 03717 223344 is the number here at talkSPORT 81089 if you want to send a text message. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. We've just smashed our croissants.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
I did. Reading the what? No, when some people drop names, Shebahn. You know, like drop a name, big name.
Yeah.
Okay. Hugo Ekitike in the paper today. He talks about he'd learnt tricks from Neymar and the vision from Lionel Messi. But Mbappe is like my big brother. So he's mentioned Mbappe, Messi, Neymar.
Packing all these names up.
Just drop them names in there. Because obviously all at PSG.
Of course so.
But I just thought, well, there's 3 names to learn from. Neymar, Messi and Mbappe.
He's a star as well, you know.
Yeah, he's got a lot about him. A lot of Liverpool fans are going to love him because his work rate is brilliant as well. And apart from his ability, he's been the shining light, like Brian Mbeumo has settled brilliantly at Manchester United. I think Hugo Ekitike has done similar at Liverpool, quickly.
Absolutely. A joy to watch, to be fair. Coming up for you in the Premier League today, you've got Palace Brighton, 2 o'clock kick-off. Also Bournemouth take on Aston Villa, Brentford Newcastle, Nottingham Forest face Leeds. They're all 2 o'clock, and then 4:30, of course, it's Man City against Liverpool. Arsenal dropping points yesterday against Sunderland, and Sunderland have been, we've always got one, Bournemouth are up there as well, but Sunderland have been quite a story so far this season.
Been brilliant. Yeah, right. The story has been in somewhat. Bournemouth were good last year. Okay, Sunderland were a championship team that have got promoted, and they've been extraordinary this year.
Yeah, let's talk about the title race, because today either Man City or Liverpool will look to close that gap on Arsenal at the top. Pep Guardiola takes charge as of his 1000th game as a manager. Guardiola has collected 715 victories in all competitions since first taking charge of Barca B in 2007, going on to lift 12 top flight titles at Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Man City, as well as 3 Champions League crowns. That is incredible. 54 years old. He's only lost 128 matches, claiming another 14 victories in the Cups during his illustrious career. That's the thing about the 128 matches that he's lost. I watched a documentary with Fergie not that long ago, Sir Alex Ferguson, and he was saying it's those games that he lost, it's those finals that he lost are the ones that stick with him. It's not the ones that he won. You know, you wonder if Pep's a bit like that too.
Yeah, well, that's like me. I remember chances I missed. You know, the biggest one, you know, in my career, in my early days, was Gillingham against Neville Southall, a 1-on-1, big chance to score, you know. Then you do. Unfortunately, we all have that sort of a negative or, you know, less optimistic approach, pessimistic, should I say, that we remember some of our failings, but that drives you. So, you know, Pep's been an extraordinary manager. He really has. And to deliver and still have the motivation and desire to want to be a better manager as the years go on. You know, when he first come to City, I thought 3 years.
Really?
I thought him and Klopp, I didn't think they would last. No, because Klopp had walked out of obviously Dortmund at a particular time, and Pep Guardiola took a sabbatical, and so I thought he might come back for 3 years, maybe 5 at the longest. But to see him stay as long as he has, and there's a lot more in there now.
And it's now his 1000th game going to be today for Man City against Liverpool. How do you see that one going?
A bit nervous because there are dangers. Liverpool probably played the best they played this season against Real Madrid in midweek. Yep. So that's the good thing. They looked a little bit more settled. I'm so delighted Andy Robertson's in at left back.
So many people are saying that.
Well, I said it weeks ago. Yeah. Well, please, but Kirkes is not ready. He's not ready to be the number 1 at Liverpool. The best number 1 left back is Andy Robertson.
Okay.
Full stop.
Let's look ahead to one of the earlier games this afternoon for you. Forest take on Leeds at the City Ground. We're joined by former Forest defender Luke Chambers. Good morning, Luke.
Hi, Luke.
Good morning, guys. Right?
Yeah. I'm getting carried away about Liverpool going to Man City, Luke. But you've got Forest taking on Leeds, which in a sense is a really good game and a really big one.
Oh, it's massive for both teams. Yeah, we know the struggles that Forest have been going through, especially the managerial concerns, especially the decision that the club made in getting rid of Nuno Espirito Santo. But Leeds have obviously had their troubles as well recently. So a massive game at the wrong end of the table for both.
So what do you feel with Forest? Because, I mean, Leeds are a promoted club. They spent lots of money. Look, Forest were very established. They had a great season last year, and yet they've really, apart from the opening game of the season, which they won, and Chris Wood getting a brace of goals in that game, they haven't really shown anything like last season's form, have they?
No, absolutely nothing like it. And I don't think the club is the same club as it was. I think too many changes were made, obviously under Ange, even to the way that they were playing, which had brought them so much success. A lot more free-flowing, a lot more susceptible to counter-attacks when they were the absolute masters of the counter-attack, just sitting in, soaking up pressure off a really strong base. And to be honest, since Sean Dyche has come in, yes, they're winless in the last 3, but the performance against Porto when they won 2-0, the way he's brought that team back together to be a bit more defensive-minded has really given them a platform where I feel that they're definitely going to bounce back from.
Yeah, it's amazing in football because you have a goalkeeper like Sells who was absolutely sensational last year, and in the first game he plays under Sean Dyche makes a big mistake, cost them points, and yet you know, they lost Elanga in the summer, you know, and Hudson-Odoi, Wood and Elanga, which was a handful for opposition.
Oh, massively. And like I mentioned before, when they're playing off the break with the pace of Elanga and Hudson-Odoi and with the focal point of Chris Wood, losing one of them, let alone two or three, especially when Wood's been injured, Callum's been injured. So losing Elanga is very difficult to replace. And especially you're coming into, again, a team that's playing in a totally different way.
Yeah.
So you're not just losing players to injury, you're losing players. And there's obviously something wasn't right. I went and watched them when they played Midtjylland and they lost 3-0, and the actual environment and the, what's the word I'm looking for? The feeling towards Ange was awful. When they conceded that third goal, the crowd turned in a way that I'd never seen it. And you knew that was like the beginning of the end. But now I feel that they're, during the week in Europe, I watched the game with talkSPORT, and it was really solid defensively. It was all Forest. They were very unlucky not to win that game. So the signs are there for me.
Yeah, look, if you can get, obviously, talent like Elliot Anderson playing to his best, Morgan Gibbs-White, since he signed a new deal and had his head turned in the summer, has not got back to what we know he's capable of, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing we're talking about. You've gone from a club that's been so solid and so regimented, and they know what they're doing, and the players are playing for the manager, to their captain nearly leaving, big money bids coming in for him. For any player, that's going to turn your head a little bit. And then you're going back in with a different way of playing.
Yeah.
You're not playing every week. He was ending up being on the bench. So again, he's not had that sort of confidence from his manager to be able to continually play himself back into that form, just to get through that sticky period of those links. Because at the end of the day, you don't get linked with big moves away from a club like Forest if you're not playing very, very good football.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a tricky run coming up after the international break. Liverpool away, Malmo, Brighton at home, and then Wolves. But looking at today against Leeds, it's a must-win, Luke, isn't it?
Oh, you feel it has to be, because I think they can close the gap potentially to 2 points if they beat them today. And you talk about tricky runs, you've got Leeds, they've got Villa, Man City, Chelsea and Liverpool coming up. So if Forest can take points off Leeds today, they'd like to think, can they then nick a few in the coming weeks? Because it would look unlikely that Leeds would be able to do the same.
Yeah, okay. Luke Chambers, thank you so much for coming on this morning, former Forest defender. Have a good Sunday, all right?
Cheers.
You two guys, cheers.
Bye-bye.
We'll chat to you very, very soon. You can get the updates for that game.
It's strange, looking at the table, Shebahn.
I know.
And Forest are second from bottom.
We were just saying, like, Sunderland, the story of the season so far, Bournemouth as well, but Forest were that just so recently. And then you see them in that position where they are so close to rock bottom. It's like, how can that happen so quickly? Just shows you how good Nuno was. I'm sorry. I know they lost players.
What Luke just said just now is really important. Look, you look at certain positions in the pitch, the forward line, how that's changed, the midfield. Morgan Gibbs-White's important for them because he really does make a difference, and it's got nowhere near last season's form. They've been disrupted in the back line. They've had injuries there, but they've got enough good players for us to get out of it.
I completely agree, and seeing him back in the score sheet last week will hopefully mean he's turned a corner as well. All of the updates for you on Game Day Live from the Premier League today on talkSPORT coming up next. We're going to discuss Jared Bowen's post-match routine. I wonder if it's anything like Tony Cascarino's. We'll do that, and we'll get the latest odds from Coral next. morning. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Big win for the West Ham yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Big win.
Good victory. And by the way, Burnley for large parts of the game were really decent.
Yeah, they were.
You know, and
3-2 end.
A little bit of good news for West Ham, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
The last week's been good for them.
Much better.
You know, under Nuno, getting a result against Newcastle and then backing it up.
What do you think? Well, what was your post-match routine? I'll ask you that in just a second. Have a think about it, because Jared Bowen has revealed what he does after a game. Danny Dyer, not his father-in-law, his wife. Danny Dyer, he's revealed that she runs a bubble bath for him after his bad matches. She has to run him a bath.
After bad matches?
Bad matches. And they've lost 7 times this season, so that's a lot of bath running that she's done.
Right.
So
where's this going?
That's just his post-match ritual.
Post-match? Depends. I mean, look, I come from a different era.
Pre-match, pretty popular. What was yours then? Just go to the pub.
No, it was win or lose, we'll have a booze. That was. I could sit here and tell you all different things, but I guarantee you, from all the times I played in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't until I went abroad in 94 that it all changed. But loads of players went out on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Even if you had a game in midweek, they would go out. It wasn't something, oh, what you doing? Oh, no, you mustn't go out. No one even suggested that. They'd have a go at you if you didn't go out.
Yeah, I think they should do it more now. Lighten up. When was the last time you had a bath?
Last time I had a bath.
Yeah, serious question.
I love a bath as it goes.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I do.
Bath,
But I probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago I had a bath.
So much more recent than I thought.
When's the last time you had a bath?
I think I was pregnant.
Oh, right. Do you like the bubble bath and all that?
Well, when I was preggers, I was always in the bath, but I mean, I haven't had a bath in years.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, you told me this morning your mum and dad had a waterbed, didn't you?
Yeah, they're a waterbed couple.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I'm older, I'm like, you two little
Do you want the joke?
creeps.
Do you want the joke?
Go on then.
Did they drift apart?
Oh, they're about 40
Sorry.
years in, so no, it didn't work out for them in the end.
No, they had a waterbed, really?
Yeah.
And so, waterbeds, you have to change the water, don't you?
Yeah.
So is
I
it
remember
like once in 3 months or once?
It has like little plasters for it as well, if there's a little hole. Just imagine that burst in the sleep.
Well, I'm sure they do. If they get very active.
Oh, Cass!
Sorry.
My parents don't do that. Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, that is vile. Moving on, don't forget talkSPORT brings you the huge rematch next weekend of Chris Eubank Jr. and Connor Ben. It's next Saturday. It's live, of course, from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll have it here for you on talkSPORT. Heavyweight Dave Allen is with our expert boxing team, keeping you right across all of the action. Don't forget, you can watch with us on the night over on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as well. Eubank Jr. versus Connor Ben next Saturday, live on talkSPORT, or you can watch it with our friends at DAZN. And it's time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT, brought to you by Coral, the home of a free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18 plus max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Good morning, Dave Stevens.
David.
Good morning, Shebahn. Morning, Kaz. In the words of Ali McCoy, this is what we do on talkSPORT. We make the news and we break the news. Your parents used to have a waterbed, and Cass last had a bath 3 weeks ago. I don't want to say it, Cass. I'm hoping you've had a shower in the
Of course, David. Of course, yes. Yeah, it was a funny conversation, wasn't it? Sort of,
I was sat there open-mouthed, I can honestly say. I didn't know where we were going next. So, yeah.
Well, we know we're going now. We're going to be as the title odds change, David.
Yeah.
Of course it has. Of course it has. We react to any result, don't we? First of all, let's just give credit to Sunderland. And actually, if you took, the form of Arsenal this year out of it, you'd say, look, they're going to a top 4 team. Actually, a point on the road's not a bad result. They have eased slightly. They were 9-4 on. They're now 7-4 on for the title. Manchester City 7-2. Liverpool 6-1. Obviously, this afternoon's game, we'll come on to that, is going to have an impact. If I suppose Arsenal are praying for a draw there, really, aren't they? That'll keep them 6 points clear. It'll be interesting to see how both teams are. We'll come on to that. But I just want to touch on the bottom as well, because despite West Ham having 2 good results in the week, picking up the 6 points, they are still third favourites for relegation. They're 5-4. the team that fans of turn away now, Wolves 8-1 on to go down. I mean,
Wow.
it just looks desperate there. Burnley 130. And then Leeds and Nottingham Forest, 2-1 Leeds, Nottingham Forest 9-4. And of course, huge game between those two teams today. Nottingham Forest, our favourites at home, 13-10. After a good start, Shebahn, Leeds have just slightly sort of, stumbled, and they now find themselves down the bottom. They're 2-1. It's 9-4, the draw. Cass, strong view on this one? It's a game that you feel that Nottingham Forest really have to win to just stop themselves getting adrift down the bottom?
Well, David, I look at the table and it still amazes me looking and still see them on 6 points because they opened the campaign, I think, with a win against Brentford. I think they won their opening game, and they've, the results they've had since then. I just expect them to get going because they've got just too many good players for me. That if Sean Dyche can get anything going at Forest, they'll win games because they've got enough players. Their midfield, if you think of like Morgan Gibbs-White, was an England player, Elliot Anderson, England player. Come on, they have enough in there just without others. So I expect them to get going.
Yeah. There's a couple of sort of mid-table, I don't want to offend the fans of these clubs, sort of mid-table clubs. Crystal Palace, Brighton, the bizarre M23 derby. Palace 5-4 favourites for that one, 2-1 Brighton. Okay. Aston Villa, after a decent run, just a little stutter, but they are favourites 13-10 at home to Bournemouth 2-1. And then this is a game I just think the bookmakers have got wrong, where Newcastle are favourites 6-4 to win at Brentford. Their form on the road is not good at Newcastle. And Brentford have really coped with their summer upheaval, losing the manager and key players really well. They're 15-8, as I say. That just feels wrong. But look, I make no apologies for leaving the biggest game till last. Cass, obviously, from your point of view, you want Liverpool to get something out of this. City, though, odds on 10-11. The draw just under 3-1, 13-5. The draw. Start with you, Shebahn, as a Man United fan. I suppose you just want these two teams to, kick lumps out of each other and come off with a point each.
I'm curious about it just because, it's a big day for Pep, isn't it? His 1,000th game in charge. I'm like, does he go on? Does he win it? Is it a statement win for him? And then also I think Liverpool, decent performance from them in the week, bouncing back. I don't know how to call this one. I think a draw would seem fair, Dave.
Let's ask the Liverpool fan. Cass, would you take the point now?
No, I don't think so, no. I'll take my chances that they can go there and win. It's going to be tough. If Haaland's on and Liverpool defend like they've done all season so far, apart from the Real Madrid game, Haaland's going to score.
Yeah.
He just is. If they leave any space for him to run in behind, and Liverpool have been caught so many times this season, I just hope because of Robertson coming in, that little bit of a safety net, their relationship of how they defended last year, that helps. Obviously, Bradley, a bit more experience. So I'm hoping that back line's a lot more tighter.
Yeah.
It just felt the balance had been a little bit better for Liverpool, wasn't it, in that last couple of games, which reflected in the result. But, you mentioned Haaland. It's extraordinary the run he's on. He's 7-4 on to score today. That's not unheard of because Haaland himself in recent seasons. But against, a team that have been vulnerable, you feel he will be... he'll be licking his lips slightly. But
absolutely.
As a neutral, can't wait for this one.
Oh, no, it's going to be a good one. All the updates here on talkSPORT. Dave Stevens, as ever, thank you so much.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, guys.
That was a look at the latest odds with Coro 18+. Be gambleaware.org. Please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Coral, the home of the free-to-play Golden Rewards Shaker. 18+ max 1 reward per player per selected Shaker day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
On the way for you next on Weekend Breakfast, we'll discuss a challenge in few months for Leicester with a former Premier League winner next. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne alongside the legend Tony Cascarino. We're talking about David Bowie earlier.
Yeah.
He'd be the one person you could get a selfie with.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an absolute icon of music. All different, decades from the 70s, late 60s, 70s, Ziggy Stardust and everything that came with it. And then he transformed in sort of the early 80s, Ashes to Ashes album. Had that great stuff. Fashion was on it, a great song.
So many tunes.
And the famous one, actually.
Yeah.
Heroes, great song. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the song called 5 Years. Have you ever heard of 5 Years?
No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah, it's a great song as well.
You've seen the clip with Ricky Gervais, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, they're in extras.
When he's singing.
That's in extras, isn't
Yeah,
it?
chubby little fat man. It's like his voice is so good, It's such a great skit, it really is. Okay, it's time now for a bit of this.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
We have been so good to you with the competitions of late, and this is an absolute belter. We're giving you the chance to get out in the town next week in London. Well, actually at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, you've got the chance to win 2 tickets to the rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. It's live on talkSPORT, 15th of November, but we could be sending you there. It's not only that, we'll send you there overnight at a 5-star hotel in London and give you £5,000 spending money. It's going to be an unforgettable weekend if you win this. Here's how you can get involved.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Good luck to you. What?
Do you like Luther Vandross?
I don't know a lot of his songs. I know a couple of his songs. But
he was a soul legend, Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you get a selfie with him?
No, I'm saying him because he was first He was on one of David Bowie's first records.
Oh.
When you first ever saw Luther Vandross, he was in the backing singer with Young Americans, the song Young Americans.
There you go. It's an education, this show. Here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. Sunday edition with us at 9 o'clock this morning. It's Sean Custis and Henry Winter. Everything you need to know from the back pages and all the pullouts and the supplements. And then the warm-up is here with Max and Barry at 11 o'clock. 1:30, Game Day Live with this man.
Join me, Sam at the Face, for a busy Game Day Live, 1:30 this afternoon. Not only have we got 5 Premier League games, including the blockbuster game between Manchester City and Liverpool to keep you across, but we've got action from the Scottish Premiership and the WSL as well. We're on air from 1:30 right the way through to 6:30, only on talkSPORT.
We will see you then, Sir Sam, Matterface, 6:30. It's Majestic and Alan Pardew taking your calls in the final whistle between Man City and Liverpool, and then the Trans-Euro Express here with Danny Kelly from 9 o'clock this evening. Over on talkSPORT 2, by the way, there's all the NFL action. Download the talkSPORT app and you can take us anywhere with you for all the sports action today on talkSPORT. Let's talk about the Championship now, where Leicester halted their 5-game winless run with a last-minute winner by Jordan James yesterday to win 2-1 at Carrow Road up against Norwich. Norwich then went on to sack their manager Liam Manning after that defeat, but it was a good win for Leicester all the same. Joining us now, Leicester legend Mark Albrighton. Good morning, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mark, what do you make of Leicester today? I mean, obviously they were losing at Norwich and got a result, turned it around after a very difficult start to the Championship campaign for them.
Yeah, it has been difficult. I think they started really well in terms of results, but the performances weren't really there. And then it sort of kind of petered out a little bit, and those performances were getting worse again, and then the results were getting worse as well. And they had to get something yesterday because of the form that Norwich are on. If they had gone there and come away with nothing, it would have been a disaster. But obviously they come out with all 3 points in the end, which was it's just a bit of breathing space for the manager and just for the players as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, Leicester. If you look, it's 9 years ago since they won the title, and you'd expect change over a nine-year period. But, you know, all the big names have gone, players that you know really well that have left the football club. And now they're battling to try and find a side again, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And I wouldn't really want to compare, like, obviously, the 9 years ago and the success that we had, just because it was such a like a freak season, and I think it was fantastic, it was brilliant, but I think if you look at the levels of where Leicester were before that and after that, I think yes, they're better than where they are, but they're not challengers for top 6 Premier League football. So I think the expectations need to be right around the club as well. So it's difficult because they've tasted that success, and the fans have seen that success and know what it's like. So they just want more of it.
Yeah, I mean, you were part of that success, Mark, but you know, roll forward 9 years. This season, I mean, it's been 2 wins and 11. You know, does that really allow for the breathing space now? I mean, there's a bit more pressure on Martí Cifuentes.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure. I think, obviously, like I say, if they was to lose yesterday and even draw, I think with the international break coming up, we know what sort of that brings as well with the manager merry-go-round. So it would have been, there definitely would have been a decision to make there. Whereas I think with the win, I think that just sort of settles things down just for this period. The international break probably comes at a difficult time and a bad time, having got that win. But I've seen enough of them this year to see them in parts of games where they do look okay, they do look good, but it's just not been enough, and they haven't put together a full performance of 90 minutes.
It's incredible, Mark, isn't it? Because, you know, a lot of ex-players come out the game and they look at coaching jobs or maybe hoping one day to be a manager. And yet being a manager is such a brutal way, because it's nearly 99% failure. You're going to experience it, aren't you?
It is. I honestly don't know why you would do it. I just don't get it. But you see, worked under Enzo Maresca, and he was very much like he was the first one at the training ground, and he'd be there till some days he'd sleep there. And you think of the stress that they put themselves under, and the pressure that they put on themselves. And in the end, yeah, like you say, there's every chance that you're going to get sacked. And obviously Martí Cifuentes at Leicester now, I've met him a couple of times. He seems like a real good guy. Spoke to people in the training ground as well, say what a great guy he is, and how it's better than it was last year.
Okay.
But ultimately, if the results aren't there, then he's going to pay the price.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Mark. Do you feel that there's a cultural shift compared to where it was, say, 10 years ago? You know, all behind the scenes, maybe not even in the dressing room and between the players, but even above that, you know, if they lost something?
They've definitely lost something. Yeah, I think Leicester of 9-10 years ago, and even probably more recently than that, it was based on its culture and its values, and how the club was run. Everything that we did, whether it was success or whether it was the disasters that we had as well, everything was done right. The club seemed to. The clubs just seem to know how to get everybody on board and everybody together, whether that was the connection between the players, the fans, the staff that work at the club, everybody. And there was a really liked football club. I think you go back to that season and everybody wanted them to win the league. So it's I look at it now and I don't so much see that. I think a lot of them values have disappeared. A lot of them the culture does definitely seem different, and it just looks very, very subdued around the stadium whenever you go for a match day.
Right. Yeah. Brief word on Villa. They're taking on Bournemouth, which I've said before, Mark, a dangerous side, Bournemouth, when you play them. But the Villa sort of turned their season around, haven't they? They've got back to where Unai Emery had them last season for long periods.
Yeah, I think he sort of went back to what he knew and what had got him the success. Obviously, they had a few new signings come in, and he tried them out, and it didn't really work. And he's gone back to the old and trusted. And I think that was a bit of a stroke of genius, because not many managers are they're too proud to do that. So obviously, last time out against Liverpool, they didn't get battered by any stretch, but obviously come away with nothing. I think the game in midweek, I think that was one where it's just good to get the win and get out of there with everything surrounding it. So today is going to be very difficult for them against a top Bournemouth side, and it's going to be a real test to see if they are really back in contention for those European spots.
And Pep, it's his 1000th game as a manager today. Mark, you would have played in teams against Pep's sides. What do you make of that achievement?
Yeah, I've been on the end of a few of them 1,000 games and some bad results. It's an incredible achievement. I think the way that he's come over to England and he's really changed the way people look at football is a genius, and he deserves all the praise that will come his way, that does come his way. And I think it's a credit that people just love watching his football teams, and I think that is a credit to him.
Mark, what are you doing now, Mark? Are you coaching, badges, or anything? Or
no, I'm doing little bits of the media. I did try a little bit of coaching, didn't get on with it at all, didn't like it. I think for the reasons we spoke about as well. I didn't see the long term in it. But no, I enjoy the media side of it. I enjoy the co-commentary, the punditry. It gets me to games and keeps me interested in the game and keeps me active.
Yeah, you're doing well at it as well. It's good to have you part of the talkSPORT team.
Mark, I haven't lost a game for 25 years now.
And Mark,
I'm a better player than I ever have been now. Yeah.
Also, in your spare time, you're in charge of the Leicester Premier League reunion, the title winning reunion next year. How's the plans going for that?
Not very well, I'll be honest with you. There's loads of ideas getting floated about, but there's nothing there on paper yet. There's nothing secure, but the ideas are getting a bit carried away. So we need to tame them down a bit, I think.
Get you in a Wetherspoons in Leicester near you.
That's where it will end up. Yeah,
do the trick. Mark Albrighton, what a treat. Thank you so much for coming this morning.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a good day.
Have a good one. Take care of yourself, former Leicester Leicester winger.
Good lad, Gray.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Albrighton there. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to Manchester City versus Liverpool with former City captain. Morning, welcome to Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Villa striker Tony Cascarino. Forgot my name there for a minute. I know, it's a long one.
Who am I?
Who am I? Some of your headlines this morning. Max Verstappen has said he can forget about winning the F1 World Championship after he qualified 16th for today's Brazilian Grand Prix. talkSPORT will, of course, have updates with Piers Pryor from 5 o'clock this evening. Novak Djokovic has pulled out of the ATP finals with an ongoing shoulder injury after he won a title at the Hellenic Championships. Well done, Novak. You'll go far. And there's loads going on today over on the website talksport.com. Here's Sean O'Brien with the details.
Lots happening on talksport.com, but let's start in the Bundesliga. Harry Kane had a roller coaster afternoon as Bayern Munich's historic run of wins was ended by an unlikely opponent. Elsewhere, find out which Tottenham player had Stuart Pearce dishing out some seriously strong criticism on Saturday, and which legendary stadium has been branded a dump by the club's own president. That's all over on talksport.com.
Sean, thank you very much. 4:30 this evening, Manchester City against Liverpool. This is a great game. We're talking about one of the most famous fixtures in recent Premier League history, Liverpool and Man City. This afternoon at the Etihad in a top of the table clash. Liverpool have taken a recent dip in form, while Manchester City and Erling Haaland have been consistent so far this season. So ahead of the game, Arne Slot has revealed why he wants City to play their usual brand of football.
In 8 out of the 10 games I think we've played this season, we faced a different playing style than and I think that's always helpful. Then there's still a lot of work to be done by the players to get a performance like that, but it is helpful. Where I think we can expect from City the playing style we always see, but the difficult thing in that is that they are very good in it and have very good players, so that makes that challenge big again.
Liverpool's Arne Slot there, back to winning ways, looking ahead to this one with his former Man City and England defender and former City captain, Keith Curl. Good morning, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Morning, guys.
Hello.
Keith, I'm listening there to Arne Slot and saying different, like City style, but City style's changed quite dramatically because of Erling Haaland, hasn't it?
Well, I don't think it's a massive change. I think the way that they play, they've got rhythm and tempo, and how they like to dominate possession of the ball. I think that hasn't changed. But Haaland's hunger, I think that's always been there to score. Him scoring goals, phenomenal. And I think any team that's got a goal scorer that's top of the charts year in, year out, you're always going to have a chance of being successful. Yeah,
and Shirky's come in, hasn't he, and added to that passer, the player that can find the ball like De Bruyne did so often.
Yeah, Shirky, Reinders, I think the Mamouche, they've got midfield, they've got dynamics, and they've all got goals in them as well. And when you add into that Foden and Silva as well, you're thinking, well, that's formidable. And then in the wide areas, Doku, Savino, on their day, both unplayable. I went to the Dortmund game on Wednesday, when they played with two wide men, and both of them were unplayable.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely brilliant midweek. In fairness, they were absolutely excellent. Pep, 1,000 games in charge today, Keith. That's something else, isn't it? Oh,
phenomenal. Absolutely. And again, he's transformed the football club, the mentality of the football club. And again, it's I think something that should be respected is you never get any complaints from players with the rotation of who plays. There's no massive egos within that playing squad.
Yeah, well, look, they're a talented team. Arsenal dropped points yesterday, Keith. Do you think now that if the win today, that people look at City as more of a chance of having a chance to win the title? Because I think up until this point, teams were muting about City, but not much more.
Again, I think they haven't found their rhythm. Which, and again, I think the same has got to be said for Liverpool. If you have a look at Liverpool, they've spent a lot of money this year, and they've got a lot of big names in that changing room, but they haven't found that settled system yet. And again, within that, City haven't got a settled 11 that play week in, week out, but they've got phenomenal players that they can play how Pep wants to play. I think that today's going to be like O'Reilly and Doku against Salah and Bradley potentially. That's going to be one to look at. But Nunes against Gakpo. Again, Haaland against Van Dijk and Canute. There's going to be individual battles all over the park, and who comes out on top of those?
What's your prediction then?
2-0 City.
2-0 City. Lovely stuff. Keith Curl, former City captain. Thanks so much for your time this morning. Enjoy the game.
Cheers,
Keith. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Don't forget all of the updates coming up with you today. 4:30 kick-off for that one. Game day live with Sam Matterface here from 1 o'clock this afternoon, keeping you across absolutely everything from the Premier League and beyond. Cass, how are you watching the game today?
Yeah, I'll be at home. I'm going to go home and watch it. Catch the 4:30. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Look, Liverpool got to be at their best today to get something, and they haven't shown that enough this season. So I was a lot more optimistic after the Real Madrid performance, because that hadn't been there this season so far.
Yeah, like I say, better midweek, back to winning ways. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Hopefully this afternoon, like we say, the gaffer of City, Pep, 1,000 games in charge as a manager. I think it's going to be a special game. You can get all the updates here on talkSPORT. Cass, thank you. See you next weekend.
See you later.
And the Sunday edition with Sean Custis and Henry Winter is next on talkSPORT. Enjoy.